Fox Sports.
We are Black Fork. We are so.
It's another beautiful baseball day in Northern California. Boy, did the Braves have fun last night. A big crowd is filing into Oakland Coliseum for the middle game of our weekend set between the Braves and the Oakland Athletics. Hang in there, Ricky. If you couldn't stay up last night, you missed a gem. Mike Fultonevich chased history, Joe. He took a no-hitter into the ninth inning. He lost the no-hitter but won the game 3-1 final.
As he said after the game, he was kind of conveniently wild. He did walk a couple of guys, but boy, the fastball was electric. Took it into the ninth inning. He didn't get a call on a 2-2 pitch, and 2 pitches later, Mr. Olson out of Parkview took him deep to break up the no-hitter and the shutout.
But look at Mike Fultonevich's reaction on the bench. A lot to be excited about. What a way to finish up the month of June for the Braves. 8 innings of 1 hit, 1-run ball, and his 6th victory of the season. So now we turn to the calendar month to July, but let's recap June. It was a great month all the way around for the Braves.
Yeah, winning month, and anytime you have a winning month, that's a good sign, and the Braves are playing good baseball behind that. So let's take a look at some of the particulars on the month. 16-12, that was the 3rd best in the National League, averaging right at 5 runs a game, which is really something fun to watch, and most by the Braves in a June since 2005. Several guys having good months that are leading into July, so let's hope that continues for everyone.
We've rightfully focused on the Braves offense last month, doing such a great job, but I think the pitching staff hasn't gotten its due. It looks like the starting rotation by and large has solidified. Sean Newcomb certainly helped, as has R.A. Dickey, who's got the ball today.
Well, that's what I said a few days ago, that if the starting pitching will start carrying more of their load, things are really going to be looking good for the Atlanta Braves, and R.A. Dickey is doing just that. His last 2 starts have been terrific. He's only given up 1 earned run in 14 innings. Now he'll go against the Oakland A's today, a team that's given him a little bit of trouble in the past, but R.A. right now seems to be on top of his game. His knuckleball is really moving. There are the particulars, only 2 walks in those 14 innings. That's a great sign for him.
And he's facing off with a young man who's making his major league debut today. It's right-hander Paul Blackburn. Tyler Flowers and the Braves are working well. They'll try to win the series outright. It's game 2. Braves and A's coming up next from Oakland Coliseum out west.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. For all, for less.
Well, as great as Mike Foltynewicz pitched last night, that is a very tough act to follow. But that'll be what R.A. Dickey tries to do on a sparkling Saturday afternoon at the Oakland Coliseum. It's a perfect day to pitch, 63 degrees, winds out of the west-southwest. And for that young man, Paul Blackburn, a very special moment. The first time he walks to the mound as a major league starting pitcher. He's filling in for Jarrell Cotton, who was bumped. He's had recurring blister problems, so it's Blackburn versus the Braves in Game 2 of the series today.
Blackburn's 23 years old, 6'1", 185, out of Brentwood, California. This year in AAA, 15 games, 14 starts, an excellent ERA. 231 average against him. He was a supplemental pick between the first and second round back in 2012 by the Cubs. He's able to acquire him, and he's been moving up their ladder. Had a good year last year in the minor leagues, and 34 and 23 career-wise in the minor leagues. Does not throw overly hard, 88 to 92. 4-pitch guy. We'll see what kind of stuff he's gotten. The nerves bothering many today. I'm sure he'll have a few of those.
Well, let's hope the Atlanta offense can take care of the nerves and knock him out of the game early. That would be nice. Ender Inciarte leads off the Toyota starting nine. Good to see Matt Adams back in the lineup after fouling a ball off his foot in San Diego on Thursday. Adams said he's good to go. Matt Kemp bats in front of him as the designated hitter. Johan Camargo riding an impressive 6-game hit streak with Santana and Swanson 8th and 9th for the Braves. Atlanta has a 2-2 road trip so far. They dropped 2 out of 3 to the Padres. They won here last night. And despite that 2-2 mark, Joe, the offense for Atlanta on this trip has not exactly blown the doors off. We were really spoiled with the 5 runs a game Atlanta averaged in the month of June. Last 4 games, though, the cool weather and some excellent starting pitching have made life tough for the Braves batsmen.
I'll tell you what else they've done. They've tightened up their defense. They haven't made an error on this road trip, and playing very solid behind their starting pitchers, and that always helps.
Well, that was the man of the hour last night, Mike Foltynewicz, with 8 brilliant innings pitched. Let's see what R.A. Dickey has in store for the Braves in Game 2 as Paul Blackburn ready to face Ender Inciarte here in the top of the first. His first big league pitch is called a strike. That one will head to the souvenir case. And we are underway in Oakland. Ender had his hitting streak interrupted last night. He was 0 for 4. And that's off the plate for an even count. Ender tallied 39 hits in June, 40 hits in May. Today it's a new day, July the 1st, and game number 80 on the championship schedule for the Braves, who start action 38 and 41 for the year. They picked up a game on the Nationals, who were defeated by the Cardinals last night, so the Braves start play 8.5 back in the National League East. Launched into the seats, foul, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Blackburn's last start for Nashville, he pitched into the 6th inning, only gave up 2 runs, only walked 1, and only struck out 2. So pitches to contact, good ground ball to fly ball ratio too.
But for that to work, this porous A's defense has to catch the ball. They have gone 5 straight games without an error, but they've still committed 71 of them on the season. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and Ender a good job to force a full count.
A's are wearing some throwback uniforms, if you will. I forget what year, 2002.
I think that's right.
Or 92. I can't.
Could have been 1882.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Dark greenish black top with Kelly green sleeves. And the pitch to Ender is smacked towards second. And Lowry's got that. And a ground ball out. But a good at bat by Inciarte. He forced Blackburn to throw 8 pitches. He saw pretty much all of his repertoire. Let's see if the rest of the Braves lineup can take advantage. Most of the errors in this lineup are at third base. Ryan Healy's committed 13. Josh Fegley gets the start behind the dish. He's committed 5 errors and has also been charged with 7 pass balls. So that's 18 of their 71 errors behind the plate and at third base today. Here's Brandon Phillips. He was 1 for 4 last night. And he takes a quick strike. And Brandon Phillips just got hit. And he was twirling the bat like a baton as he gallops down to first base and then runs into Yonder Alonso as he stands on the bag.
Right fielder, number 22.
Well, we've seen enough of those lately. Hope it missed his hand and got more forearm. I would say it missed the hand or he wouldn't have been twirling.
Oakland's pitching staff has now hit 35 batters this year. So that's the first base runner of the day. Nick Markakis stands in. Nick closing in on 2,000 hits. He's 24 away from that milestone. Nick 0 for 3 in the opener last night. Getting said that was good enough. 1 ball, 1 strike. Doug has the plate today. Stu Surewater is at first. Nelson and Blazer second and third on this Major League Baseball umpiring crew in Oakland. And into the seats out of play. Markakis behind now. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Blackburn is the 51st pitcher in Oakland history to start in his major league debut and the 2nd for the A's this year. And he just got his first big league strikeout. Nick Markakis fans. And there's the 2nd out of the inning.
Got him to chase something upstairs. High target from Fegley.
Batted in the 4th position.
And it worked.
So Phillips at first for Matt Kemp, who bats with 2 outs. And that's down and away. 1 ball, no strikes.
Matt had a good at bat and drove in one of those key runs in the top of the 9th last night that gave the Braves a little much needed breathing room.
I'll be interested to see how differently this park plays. Beautiful, bright, warm day. See if the ball travels farther than it did last night. Two-0. Not close. Ball 3.
How about an early green light here?
We're about to find out. Here it comes. And it's off the plate. Ball 4. So a hit batsman and a walk for Blackburn in the first. Now he has to face Matt Adams, who's appearing for the first time in this series.
Batting in the 5th position. First baseman, number 18.
Bad foul ball off the back foot in San Diego. Knocked him out of the lineup last night. It's the first game he had missed. First time he hadn't started a game
for the Braves, in fact, since he came over.
So 2-out chance for Atlanta in the first inning. And that's off the plate. Ball 1. Asked Matt before the game, how's the foot feel? And he gave me that kind of sheepish smile and said, it's all right. And I said, well, it's kind of rare to see a left-hand hitter foul a ball like that off your back foot. He said, that's because I swung at a bad pitch. That's the price you pay. And he taps one back to the mound. And that is going to end Blackburn's first big league inning. He hits a batter, walks a batter, strikes out a batter. And R.A. Dickey goes to work in a scoreless game. Inning, and they're going to run into a hot pitcher. That's Braves knuckleballer R.A. Dickey, who had a very impressive month of June.
42 years old, 6'3", 215, 9 home starts, outstanding. Road starts, not so much. 281 average against him too, but he's pitching a lot better than he was in previous road starts. His 4 keys to pitching success today, those Davis boys, Chris and Rajay combined, they are 8 for 17 with 3 homers off of him, so he's got to pitch them carefully today. And 2 to 26, his last 4 starts, 26 innings pitched, only 2 walks against 26 punch-outs. Well done.
So he'll face Rajai Davis to lead off for the A's. It's going to be a long afternoon. You know, I can tell. Now, we got a fan right below us, one of those vuvuzela things.
I'll be right back.
Hear it? Line drive to center and right at Ender, but he plays it on a hop. And the first of the Davis boys leads off with a clean single in the bottom of the first inning.
Well, that'll take any mystery out of another no-hitter.
Right.
Chance at a no-hitter.
Center fielder, number 23, Matt.
As we have learned watching R.A. pitch this year in his first 15 starts, if that knuckleball's up, it's a tough day for him. If it's moving down and not laterally, it's a good day.
Matt Joyce is the A's left fielder today. He's hit a couple of home runs against R.A. in his career. And a .227 mark overall this season. Got to keep an eye on Rajai Davis at first base. Stole 43 bases, was caught just 6 times with Cleveland last year. There's a strike.
Raja is no kid. He'll be 37 this October. He's got a good lead. Joyce digs in. No balls and a strike. Trying to steal a strike inside. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Anthony's pretty pitch.
That's a good one. That was really moving down. RA's last start at home against Milwaukee, he beat the Brewers 3-1, frustrated them all day long. 7 innings, only 5 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 6 punch-outs.
And they got him. What a pick by Matt Adams. Rajai Davis wandered too far off the first base bag, and Dickey picked him off.
Mike Aldretti, the first base coach, is claiming it was a balk move with his foot moving first, but a nice save and tag there by Matt Adams.
So Dickey can go back to the windup now, ahead in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Another good pitch.
Talked about the frustration that Milwaukee had at the plate. First the delivery right there at the knee, strike 3 called. Might see some frustrated Oakland A's in this game. This is an Oakland club that's trying to hit a trick pitch, and this is an Oakland club that strikes out an awful lot. In fact, for the entire month of June, they averaged 10 strikeouts a game.
Well, they struck out 8 times last night against Mike Fultonevich in 8+ innings, and then Jim Johnson came in and struck out the side to give them 11 on the night.
I'm not going to hear anymore. That's it.
Doug Eddings not a guy to bark at after a called 3rd strike.
And remember, on that graphic you see, that strike indication is when the ball crosses the plate, not where it's caught. So what looked low to Joyce grazed the very bottom of the zone before it found the glove. Driven to right. Markakis on the run makes the play. That takes care of Lowry. And that'll do it for Oakland in the bottom of the 1st inning. R.A. Dickey off to a good start. No score.
Nothing, top of the second. And how about Paul Blackburn with his major league debut? Welcome aboard. You are in the baseball encyclopedia. Well, what do they like about this guy? He's got a very good cutter. Now, fastball's only about 90 to 92, but he offsets it with that really good cutter. And they say that he has a good curveball, but he doesn't trust it enough yet, and his changeup is a work in progress. He is a competitor, so guys, it'll be fun to watch this guy today. Try to breathe, calm down, and make his pitches. Back to you.
All right, Paul, thanks. 20 pitches for Blackburn in the opening inning. As Tyler Flowers leads off the second. Camargo and Santana to follow. And that's off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. As exciting as last night was for Mike Foltynewicz, and you can certainly understand why it would be, it had to be especially satisfying for Tyler Flowers, the man that worked behind the plate in the game. I don't remember Mike shaking him off once in the series opener here.
No, and just as disappointing for Tyler, I'm sure.
That's hit to short. Bad throw. And that's going to ricochet toward the Braves dugout. And there's that shaky Oakland defense. Barreto airmails everybody. It's a 2-base error, and the Braves are in business in the second.
As we told you last night, there's no railing in front of the dugouts in this ballpark. But that one didn't even hit the dugout. It was way over by the camera well. 72nd error. 10 more than the next worst number, and that was by the White Sox.
And they're coming in to Oakland next, which, by the way, it's ironic. Monday night it'll be face mask night for the fans sitting in front of the dugouts for the opening game of the series with the Sox. Might need them. 50 unearned runs have been tallied against the Oakland staff thanks to those 72 errors. Let's see if Atlanta can cash one in here with Johan Camargo. And he pops one into left field, and that won't advance the runner. Johan's retired. 1 on and 1 out. So far, the Braves 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position on the day. Let's see if Danny Santana can improve on that. He's done a good job in run scoring situations lately.
Yeah, that was not a get him over type swing from Camargo, who's done an excellent job in those type situations.
Danny's 7 for his last 15 with runners at second or third base. He's knocked in 14 runs. And he shoots one toward the gap in left center field. That's going to get down. That's going to score Tyler Flowers. And Santana comes through with a run scoring double, and the Braves have a second inning lead. It's 1-0.
What were his numbers with runners in scoring position?
They were 7 for his last 15.
My goodness.
Batting back, shortstop,
you know what, with Danny, it seems like in the games where he's fortunate enough to be in there like 2 or 3 days in a row, whether it be by injury or in this case the DH, he always seems to follow up a first game with a good second and third game. When he gets a little timing, gets a few more reps, he always has good games.
And he's had a lot of good games against the Oakland A's in his major league career. With that hit, he's now 22 for 63 at the plate against this Oakland staff. And that's his 3rd career RBI against them.
And another unearned run.
Let's see what Dansby can do. Ball 1 inside. One ball, no strikes. Pickoff play at second, and he's in safely. in the dirt. Nice stop by Fegley. And a new baseball for Blackburn.
You'll get tired.
Two balls, no strikes. Here's a pretty pitch. It's that curveball that Paul was talking about.
Yeah. He ought to have some confidence in it if he could throw it like that a great percentage of the time.
Flowers reached on a two-base error. Camargo flied out. Santana doubled him home. He's at second, one away. Good fastball paints the outside corner to even the count. He didn't get it. He strikes out. Two of those for Blackburn. 2 outs in the inning. And we go back to the top of the order and Ender and Ciarte.
Now batting, number 11, Ender and Ciarte.
Good at bat for Ender in the first inning. He won't be happy with the result, but he did see 8 pitches before he bounced out to second baseman Jed Lowry. Another ground ball to second's going to end the inning. Oakland's bad defense cost Blackburn a run. An RBI for Danny Santana gives R.A. Dickey a second inning lead. Run for R.A. Dickey. It's 1-0 heading to the home second. Joe mentioned one of R.A.'s 4 keys were the Davis boys. Well, here's why.
Yeah, last July 16th, Chris Davis had a good day. Not 1, but 2. Boy, this was a long one, too, to center field. R.A. went the distance. It was a complete game 8-inning loss, 4-1. But 2 homers by Chris Davis.
Davis pretty much an all-or-nothing player at the plate. 21 homers, 107 strikeouts. And that's taken downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. popped him up. Might have broken his bat. Who wants it? It's going to be Ender Inciarte. Holding court. He handles Davis's pop up. 1 up, 1 down.
Batting in the 5th position, first baseman, number 17, Yonder Alonso.
Here's Yonder Alonso. He came on as a pinch hitter last night. The A's were real happy to see him able to swing the bat after he fouled the ball off his knee the other day. This guy's had a good run for the Athletics. 17 homers and a .281 batting average. And a strike.
He's always hit for a pretty good average. A little bit of pop, and I say a little bit, probably anywhere from 7 to 12 home runs a year.
Alonso started at the University of Miami. Born in Cuba, moved to the U.S. when he was 10 with his family. His sister is married to Manny Machado of the Orioles.
Yeah, and I think his dad was a good player down in Cuba also for the Industriales.
Luis Alonso is his dad. This one's on the ground towards second. Brandon Phillips will flip to first in time. He throws out his former Reds teammate, Yonder Alonso, who's hitting 5th on the A's Toyota starting lineup.
Batting in the 6th position, third baseman, number 25, Ryan Healy.
Oakland's excited about this young man, Ryan Healy, their third baseman. He's hit 19 home runs and knocked in 50. But another high power, high strikeout guy in this Oakland lineup.
And a ton of those in day games. The 3rd most in day games in the majors. 11. The A's are 15 and 17 in day games. The Braves 10 and 14.
I know there are some people who believe that strikeouts are like any other out. I just refuse to believe it. You look at this Oakland team. 2nd most strikeouts in the American League, 3rd fewest runs, and they're hitting .240 as a club. Base hit the other way for Healy with a gaping hole on the right side of the infield. When you don't put the ball in play, when you don't catch the ball, it's tough to win. And I think it's safe to say that's been a big problem for the A's this year. They're 35 and 45 on the year.
That's where the argument ends with me, and that is, if you strike out, you have 0 chance of getting on base unless the catcher misses the 3rd strike. If you put the ball in play, as Tyler Flowers did last inning, you have an opportunity to get on if somebody makes a mistake, throws it away, or whatever. So any argument that strikeouts are just the same as any other out is kind of foolish to me.
Couldn't agree more. This is the villain from the Braves' perspective last night, Matt Olson. He hit the 9th inning home run. The first hit against Mike Foltynewicz last night. And he's ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He drives one deep toward right, but the park's going to hold it. And they're over there to provide moral support for Nick Markakis. And RA preserves his 1-run lead as this game heads to the top of the 3rd. Oakland on a gorgeous afternoon. Time for our cold hard facts today, brought to you by Clean, Crisp, Coors Light. The Braves approaching the All-Star break with a chance to get to the 500 mark and then see where they are. One thing we know, Joe, the Braves are going to move up in class as far as the opposition's concerned, with all due respect to Oakland, after this series.
You know what? That's okay. They're playing good. I'll take them on, see how they measure up and the progress they've made. Key will be the starting pitching.
Brandon Phillips goes to work and takes the strike from Paul Blackburn, who trails on an unearned run. Brandon Phillips was hit by a pitch, as you see in the opening inning. Another strike. Mike Fultonevich got all of the attention last night, and deservedly so, but to ignore the work that Sonny Gray turned in would be a big mistake. He was as good as advertised in the game last night. And for a guy that might be on the trading block for the Oakland A's, a game like that had to increase his value, especially facing a Braves team that's been swinging the bat so well.
Sure, it didn't hurt it any.
No. A lot to like there for the A's right-hander. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a chopper hit to the right side. Lowry waits for Alonso to get back to the bag. He did. And there's the first out. During the break, I did some research just to continue that strikeout conversation. The Braves, I believe, have struck out fewer times than any team in the National League. Consequently, they're scoring 4.5 runs a game. Joe DiMaggio struck out 369 times in his 13-year career. The most number of strikeouts Joe DiMaggio ever had in a single season was his rookie season in 1936 with the Yankees. Here's the pitch. He had 668 plate appearances and struck out a grand total of 39 times.
Horrible year.
So you might say, okay, well, that was 80 some odd years ago. Here's another name. Tony Gwynn. Tony Gwynn had 9,288 official at-bats as a big league player. He struck out a grand total of 434 times. The most times Tony Gwynn ever struck out in a season was 40 times. Now, they're both Hall of Fame players. They're both outliers in that regard. They're among the greatest of the great. But the bottom line is they put the ball in play.
Well, I'm going to be a devil's advocate here on that. Tony Gwynn was a contact hitter. Did he hit some home runs? Yes. Did he hit many? Not really. Not on the grand scheme of things. I'd rather go back and look at the total number of strikeouts for sluggers of that era by comparison to this modern day so-called slugger. I know Mickey Mantle struck out a lot. Harmon Killebrew probably struck out a lot, but did they strike out 180 times a year?
Who do you want? You want Mantle or Killebrew? I'll look it up real quick.
We'll do both.
Okay.
Start with Mantle.
All right. Okay, Mickey Mantle struck out 1,710 times in 9,907 plate appearances. The most he ever struck out was 126 times.
See, that's a middle infielder now.
In 1959, right? But you look at his home run totals: 37, 52, 34, 42, 40.
He once told me the only time I ever met him, he said, I've got a trivia question for you. He was the only guy in the Hall of Fame who went 3 years and never made contact. And he was talking about himself and the total number of strikeouts he had.
Well, to your point, you know what Mickey Mantle's career on base percentage was as a major league player? That's down the right field line, and a lot of ground here to cover. And no chance for Olsen to get there. Mickey Mantle in his 18-year career had an on-base percentage of .421. For a man that averaged 90 strikeouts a season.
Yeah, he's putting the ball in play. Like you said, he had a high average. He had a lot of strikeouts for the time, but he hit for high average, walked a lot.
Fly ball toward left. Joyce will gather that in, and that takes care of the Braves in the third inning. 3 up, 3 down. Blackburn's not pitching poorly. An unearned run has him trailing early. One 0 Atlanta. R.A. Dickey scattered a couple of A's singles, and after a 3-1 month of June, looks like R.A. Dickey's found a nice, comfortable working relationship with Tyler Flowers behind the plate.
Yeah, and there's those 2 and 26, the 2 walks, 26 strikeouts over those 4 starts with Tyler back there. Confidence, comfort, all part of it.
Ground ball. Dansby with the catcher running, makes a perfect throw to first, then takes care of Fegley on the first pitch. 1 up, 1 down for Franklin Barreto, the young Oakland shortstop. And the last point I want to make about all the strikeouts for the A's, and look, don't want to sound like old folks, the game evolves, that's the way it is. It's hit home runs and strike out. But for the A's, who have made so much talk about the money ball and the importance of on-base percentage and getting good pitches to hit, it doesn't seem like they're getting enough of them. They don't get on base an awful lot. Consequently, if they hit home runs, I'm guessing a lot of them are solos. They don't really have big innings because strikeouts take them out of those innings. Certainly did last night. And that's down and in to Barreto, the #1 rated prospect according to Baseball America for the Oakland A's. He's 0 for his last 13. And that one's golfed up the middle. Dansby, he bobbled and couldn't hang on. He charged it aggressively, but Barreto's going to reach on Dansby's fielding error. Oh, excuse me, base hit. Beg your pardon.
Big high chopper. And I realize this young man Barreto's got some pretty good speed, but there are times where I think when Dansby does make mistakes, it's in haste, trying to hurry it.
I think the official score reflipped the scoring coin. Scoreboard shows an error. So Barreto at first, 1 out. And Rajai Davis, the batter. He singled and was picked off first. To right center. Ender on the run. Still going. Got there and makes the catch. And his long throw back to first will be a tad late.
Loving these first pitch outs for RA.
Well, you can understand that strategy. You don't want to get to 2 strikes and guess with an knuckleball.
Yeah, it may be the best one they get, that first one.
So Barreto back at first, 2 outs. Here's Matt Joyce. He struck out looking, didn't like the call of Doug Eddings. So the A's were hollering at the umpire from the third base dugout. And Doug said, enough of that. Got the Vuvuzela guy below us, and there's a drum corps someplace here.
Well, it's actually bucket corps, I think, up there above the out-of-town scoreboard in right field.
Do you think Phil the Bucket left him those tickets?
Well, they're relatives. Oh, there's a drum. Drums. All right. I thought it was all buckets.
The pitch is downstairs. One guy couldn't get his bucket into the ballpark. He didn't have a ticket, so he's just going to take his drumsticks and bang away on the metal railing.
And a little more cowbell never hurts.
Our third inning sponsored by Tylenol, just to catch. You know, it's fun. It's a lively place. 2 balls and a strike. Here it is. And at the knees, that's the pitch that Joyce argued about in the opening inning. And they call a balk. Guess so. Yep. Did RA not pause long enough? It's called by Doug Eddings behind the plate.
I couldn't tell from not seeing him come set. It's hard to know if that was long enough or not.
RA had the ball right near the heel of his glove, and just as he began to make his motion toward the plate, Eddings pointed and called balk. So tying runner in scoring position, and downstairs Flowers speared that with a backhand. Full count. And now Tyler out for a meeting. Let's see if we can pick up what the umpire saw from R.A. Dickey.
Thought he paused as much as he ever pauses.
And maybe Tyler Flowers delivered a message from R.A. Dickey to Doug Eddings there. So he's back in his catcher's crouch with a 3-2 count. Bouncing ball. That is a foul ball. And we'll do it again. This is a park where if you hit a ball right down the line and it heads for the corner, well, the outfielder has an eternity to travel.
And the ball won't come back to you. You got to go in there and get it. There's no real wraparound that you can play a carom. It just dies over there on the warning track.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Home third. And that's foul again. Territory here. The bullpens are also down the respective lines. All that equipment, the equipment bags down there. You might see some crazy stuff if the ball gets loose in either the Oakland or Braves bullpen in this series. 2. Strike 3 inside corner. Joyce is retired, and Oakland is out of luck in the 3rd inning. R.A. Dickey has his 2nd strikeout. He's gotten Joyce looking twice, and he can't believe it. We go to the 4th inning. Atlanta 1, A's nothing. Hi, Rebecca. Thank you very much. And yes, we wish a very happy Canada Day to all of our Canadian friends. As Matt Adams leads off the Atlanta 4th, we'll be thinking of a young man whose bloodlines run through Canada later on tonight. That's Freddie Freeman, who's with the Gwinnett Braves in Charlotte. And he'll be making his first rehab start for Gwinnett tonight. And he did not take a first baseman's mitt. He is going to play third base. We have a Fox Sports crew there tonight. Hope to have some video before we leave air from Oakland today. Ground ball foul past Eddie Perez. And Adams still behind 0-2.
One of the hard things for Matt in this first game back after just missing one game, but being able to put any weight on that back foot to drive off of it. It's like he's already trying to shift forward a little bit, take some of the weight off, and that's causing him to lose a little bat speed. Big strong guy though. He can adjust and compensate.
In the air towards center, and that had some funky spin. And Matt Adams has a base hit to lead off the Atlanta 4th.
He had a comebacker his first time up, and now he hits one off the end of the bat. Again, he's kind of sliding forward a little bit to get off that back foot, and something down and away too. That was part of it. But it's hard to stay back and pivot on that back foot if that's one that's really sore, and it is.
Tyler Flowers reached on a 2-base error and scored on Danny Santana's second inning double. Right there, a strike. Blackburn's pitched pretty impressively in this game. He moves the ball around. He's used all of his pitches.
He's had good command of his fastball. That's been the most important part for him so far.
up there. Flowers fouled it away. 0-2.
Save.
Joe mentioned Blackburn was originally a Cubs supplemental first-round pick back in 2012. He was traded to Seattle for Mike Montgomery. He's now in rotation for the Cubs and got the last out in the World Series last year. Then the Oakland club got him for Danny Valencia from Seattle last November 12th. And a swing and a miss. Flowers didn't get it. That's the third strikeout for Blackburn today. 1 on, 1 out. And this young man's making his major league debut.
That was a nice compliment or setup for the strikeout when he threw the changeup away that Tyler had to reach for, and then to rear back with his best heater and go up about shoulder high with it. Good change from 80 to 92 miles an hour.
Johan Camargo flied out to left with Flowers at second base in the second inning. See if he can move Matt Adams around here. Johan has 6 hits in his last 6 games. And that's out of play left side. Quickly 0-2. Driven toward left, and Joyce is there. He's got it, and that's the second out. While we have a moment, want to wish a very happy birthday to one of the great ambassadors for Braves baseball. Walter Banks is celebrating his 29th birthday today back in Atlanta. Can't wait to see Walter on the 4th of July at SunTrust Park.
He'll be in the holiday spirit. Happy birthday, Walter.
Danny Santana with an RBI double. Didn't get it, a swinging strike.
Seems to be starting everybody off speed, then going to the fastball or cutter. A lot of first pitch change-ups and curves.
Pitch pushed him off the plate. 2 balls and a strike. He's already hit a batter today. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. The only run, an unearned run for Atlanta. Now a 2-1 count. Very short lead at first for Matt Adams. It's bounced foul.
They moved him back with a fastball, made him move his feet a little bit, and then came back with another changeup. He and Fegley are pitching a smart game so far.
toward Lowry at second. He'll scoop and fire to first. And Blackburn is out of trouble in the 4th inning. Lowry, Davis, and Alonso coming up in a 1-run Atlanta game.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Let's go places. And SunTrust.
The Oakland A's doing all they can to make this place as fan-friendly as possible. A lot of green spaces around the park. Pop a shot. The big Jenga game. We saw Ricky Henderson mess up earlier in our broadcast. And the food trucks. Those are a big hit. Outside as well. Our producer Brian Woodrum, in an effort to help us cut production costs, decided to sleep right on top of that food truck that does the organic juices. This one's shot toward left. Santana is there and he makes the catch. That retires Lowry. Brian made sure all the kale and the beets and all that stuff got delivered fresh this morning so he could be all juiced up for the broadcast.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me that they just kind of created a giant straw for him.
Well, they
up to the top of the truck.
They could have done that.
Yeah.
But I know for sure that when that food truck opened for the kale smoothie, he was first in line.
I love the smell of kale in the morning.
Here's Chris Davis. He popped out his first time. So far, so good for R.A. Dickey. As we mentioned, last 2 starts, 2 walks, 12 strikeouts. He has not walked a batter yet today. He's got a couple of strikeouts of Matt Joyce. And after he retired the A's in the 3rd inning, he had a long, friendly conversation with Doug Eddings. I'm guessing it's about what he did that resulted in the balk call back in the A's 3rd. One ball, one strike for Chris Davis. Dangerous hitter. And that just missed.
When R.A. started the season, was walking a lot of guys. He kept saying, I don't walk people. This is so unlike what I normally do. And sure enough, he has really fixed that.
I can't imagine how hard a task that would be. If you're throwing fastballs, you can assume work on things to improve your location, because you have an idea of where the ball's going. The knuckleball relies on so many other factors, humidity and airspeed and which direction the air is blowing, all those things. So when it leaves his fingertips, he has as much idea of where the ball's going as the batter does. So how do you correct your mechanics and get on target with a essentially a trick pitch.
There has to be, just from his experience of knowing his release point. Something about his wrist and having it in the right position, having it either cocked or not cocked when he lets it go.
So now he's got a full count with 1 out. Long at bat for Davis. The pitch. He missed with it outside. And Davis aboard. That's the first walk of the game for Dickey, and that brings up Yonder Alonso.
I think he's mad because he tried to throw a fastball by him. Maybe sneak it by the outside corner and missed too wide with it.
Dansby in for a quick visit to make sure he and Dickey are on the same page, with the left hand hitting Alonso up. And it's popped up. Late start for Dansby. Still going, still going. Santana get there. The ball drops in safely, and all hands are aboard for the A's. A blue pit.
I noticed on the line drive hit by Camargo in the top half of the inning that Joyce got kind of a late start. The ball almost carried over his head. And this inning, a couple of balls hit to left. Santana's gotten some late starts, and I don't know but what they're having a little trouble picking the ball up. All the shirt sleeves right behind home plate, because the crowd does sit very low here. There's not much of a wall behind home plate.
Remember when Chris Davis popped up in the second? Ender Inciarte was talking along the hard with Santana about who was going to catch the ball in left center. So he might be right. Here's Healy. He singled in the second. 2 on for the A's. 1 out. Their first real chance in the ball game. See if RA can get a ground ball and get out of the inning. Got the ground ball. It's into center field, a hit. Davis around third is getting waved. Ender loads up. His throw's cut off, and the A's have tied the game 1 apiece. So Healy's 2 for 2 and 3 for 4 now in his career against R.A. Dickey. And Blackburn's back in the game. We're tied up.
It was hit hard, and Ender charged it hard. But this time Ender's throw was off the mark. And a smart job by Matt Adams to recognize that and cut it off.
So a walk and 2 singles with 1 out has the game tied. Here's Olsen. Olsen's playing in his 15th game. He does have a double play this year. Bouncing ball. That's past Adams into right field. Here comes Alonso around third. They're going to stop him. So Oakland, playing for a big inning, has the bases loaded, and Josh Fegley, the catcher, is coming up.
That one was sinking, but it started up high and gave him a good look at it. Alonso does not run well, and he's got that bad knee, so they held him wisely at third.
So the first visit of the day for Chuck Hernandez, as the A's catcher Josh Fegley is the next hitter coming up. Rebecca, of course, will have all the scores and highlights from around Major League Baseball later on. We'll be paying attention to the Nationals and Cardinals later on tonight. Braves 8.5 back in the East at the start of play today. Tanner Roark had more trouble for Washington last night. Cardinals have won 5 of 6 games. They've got Michael Wacha pitching against Gio Gonzalez at Busch Stadium later. Here's Fegley. Bases loaded for him. And a mill high strike.
Strikeout would be huge. Ground ball back to the mound would be even better. Catcher's speed at the plate.
That's headed for the seats. He's hit into 3 double plays this year. This is his 42nd game. Lee was originally signed by the Chicago White Sox, another supplemental draft pick in 2009. Played baseball at Indiana University. Ground ball to short. That ought to be 2. There's 1. There's the turn. And there's the double play to get the Braves out of the inning. Oakland cashes in a 1-out walk and a Healy hit to tie the game, and we're off to the 5th in a 1-1 game. Inning, and those lovely ladies are the wonderful folks with Delta Airlines who take such great care of us on our charters all summer long.
What's Donna got working today?
That's Princess Donna, I guess.
Uh-huh.
And Anna.
Cheryl, Sydney. Barb back there in the back row.
Flight coordinator, Forrest Attaboy. They'll be taking great care of us tomorrow after the game. We'll head back to Atlanta for a quick 2-game pit stop with the Houston Astros beginning Tuesday night. Folks, if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, you need to come out and see SunTrust Park. See these Braves who are playing such great ball, and that Houston club, which is off to a 54-27 start. They've won 2 of every 3 games they've played in the first half so far. They're the real deal as Dansby takes high. 2 balls and a strike. Dansby struck out in the second. Try to help the Braves break a 5th inning tie. Is this guy sneaky quick?
I think the cutter is causing some of that. Moving a little bit off the barrel of the bat. A lot of swings and misses, though.
I can see why he was drafted so highly by the Cubs. He's got an idea of what he's doing. Braves have a run on just 2 hits again today. The Atlanta offense has run into some rough pitching out here on the West Coast. Braves have won 2, lost 2 so far in San Diego and here in Oakland. And that's hit to short. Good throw this time from Franklin Barreto. That takes care of Swanson. 1 away. 4 straight have been retired. Ender Inciarte is our Georgia Lottery jackpot feature. Hope Ender gets serious consideration for the National League All-Star team. It is well deserved.
Yeah, despite losing his hitting streak last night, 23 out of his last 26. And doing what he's supposed to do in that leadoff spot, and that's score.
It's always fun to look at the stat sheet halfway through the season and project forward to the totals at the end of the year. Tomorrow is game number 81, so numbers I'm going to point out are going to short Ender just a little bit. Right now he's on pace to score 104 runs and have 204 hits. I'd say that's a good year.
Yeah, book it. Get that.
That's headed for the gap in right center field. That'll get down for Inciarte. He starts a new hit streak. Enters aboard with a 1-out single. His first hit in July. And Brandon Phillips coming up.
Now batting, number 4, Brandon Phillips.
Breaking ball. Again, a lot of soft stuff. Started him with a breaking ball, then a fastball, came back with another breaking ball. Nice swing by Ender. Early soft. And he's throwing it for strikes.
That's how to play right side by Phillips, and Brandon's behind. 0-2.
Now, if he follows his pattern, he'll probably try to do something to keep Brandon honest inside and then go back away. don't know if we talked about this last night, but beginning of the season here in Oakland, this is the Oakland Coliseum, but they designated this and named it Rickey Henderson Field at the Oakland Coliseum. That's a nice honor.
The pitch to Phillips is smacked down a play.
Big concrete circle.
And as we did say last night, they have had some great teams. Wear the wedding gown white, Fort Knox gold, and Kelly green A's uniform here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Phillips tried to check his swing and couldn't. He's the second out. Blackburn with his 4th strikeout of the game. He's been getting ahead of the Braves hitters pretty effectively, especially 0-1 and then 0-2. He finished off Phillips, who was retired here in the 5th. That brings up Nick Markakis, the first man Blackburn struck out in the major leagues.
I played in a game here in April of '79. Bad weather. They thought they were going to call the game. They didn't. It was the lowest attended game in baseball, one of the lowest in history. Announced crowd of 250 people.
Really?
I remember vendors just sitting in the stands with their hot dog bins, just sitting next to them watching the game. 250 people.
A lot more here today on a glorious Saturday. The pitch is a called strike.
A's went on to lose 108 games that year, and they drew 306,000 people total attendance. Like I said last night, some real high highs and some real lows here too.
Popped out of play, foul. Well, the location of the A's franchise has been something that's been talked about for a long time. They had hoped to move to San Jose. The city of San Jose, I believe, had a stadium site ready for them to break ground. But San Jose is considered part of the San Francisco Giants territory, and the Giants weren't ready to cede that very important part of their fan base. Of course, all the technology companies and advertising dollars that might spring from there, just give that to Oakland. But now with the Golden State Warriors leaving the Oracle Arena, they're building a new facility in San Francisco. The Raiders are on their way out of town. We were told as well that there's a couple of potential stadium sites for these A's who might at long last have some sort of place to truly call their home, a baseball-only facility and all the revenue streams that would entail. No balls, 2 strikes. Again, with all the success they've had, I showed you, they've had 6 World Series teams play here. There is a great winning tradition for Oakland A's baseball here, but this facility makes it tough. Nothing at 2. And that just missed the corner.
Tell you what, he is just painting the outside. Just off. Good eye by Nick, who's had a good at bat. Ender had a good jump a minute ago. Might try it again. He
started and stopped, and a bounding ball hit towards second. And Blackburn's through the 5th inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left, 1-1 game.
Ball break. How about Jacob deGrom last night with 12 strikeouts, and our good friend Craig Kimbrell with a save record at Fenway Park. That's 30 consecutive. Now here's what doesn't make sense. These guys are dealing, but in June home runs are up 1,101 home runs. That is an MLB record in the history of the game, the most home runs for a month. Guys, the ball is flying. Back to you.
It is flying, Paul, and if you do the math, that's one home run every 25.4 at bats in the major leagues. We've had the discussion before. Baseball says the ball is up to specifications. There have been no modifications. It's the same as it ever was, as talking heads used to sing so eloquently. Don't know if I believe that, though, with those kinds of incredible numbers. More home runs in June than any other month in the history of the game.
Take this for what it's worth, and you can draw a comparison if you want. I was listening to an old timer the other day talk about golf, a famous instructor, and he said he was tired of hearing about all of the new equipment that was available to golfers, and certainly there is more so than baseball. But he said, have you seen these guys? He said they're all gigantic, they're all huge. He said not every one of them, but they're all in great shape. They work out constantly.
Into first, late break by Dickey, race to the bag, and he got there in time, and a tumble on the line as R.A. Dickey and Barreto met at the first base bag, and R.A. Dickey outran the 21-year-old Oakland infielder to get the first out in the bottom of the 5th inning.
You know what this reminded me of? It reminded me of Gaylord Perry. Gaylord Perry would never let you beat him to the bag, no matter what. A's are going to challenge it. But R.A. was not only going to the bag, he was going to try to figure out a way to cut him off, too.
And the runner was called out.
And I don't think there's enough there to overturn that. Fans here, though, are reacting to an extreme close-up of the feet on the bag. We'll see if that's a difference maker.
So again, the advantage for Dickey was the call on the field was out. There has to be enough evidence to change that call at first base. R.A. Dickey. Wow, I mean, from that angle, it looks like Barreto might have beaten him. R.A. Dickey made his major league debut on April 22nd, 2001 against Oakland. And the verdict is in. He is safe. The call is overturned. And to put that in perspective, Barreto was born February 27th, 1996. And R.A. Dickey almost outran him to the first base bag. But no such luck. It's an infield hit. And Dickey has to go to the stretch with Rajai Davis, one of Joe's keys, the Davis boys. Here's one of them.
To quickly finish my comment about how big and strong the golfers are, how much they work out, how physically fit they are, that's certainly the case with baseball, too, almost to an extreme. Way more so than when I played, and double what it was in the 50s and 60s.
Fly ball hit toward left. Santana on the run, still going, got to the track and made the catch. And Davis is retired for the first out. Well, that leads to a whole other discussion, and that is all the strength and conditioning that's taking place. It comes at what price? Yes, balls are flying out, guys are hitting home runs, but how many more guys seemingly are getting hurt with strains and stretches and cramps and the like, especially hamstrings?
Well, there is that, and we've talked about that, and I've certainly discussed how there's not enough baseball conditioning compared to performance conditioning, as it's called in some circles, and a whole lot more weightlifting that never used to exist in baseball.
When's the first time you saw a weight room in a major league clubhouse or ballpark? Do you remember? I remember Nautilus machines.
Yeah,
you know,
you had to go somewhere else to do it. You didn't do it at the ballpark. I don't know, Chip. It was well after I got out of playing, and that was mid-'80s.
Now, in every ballpark, you have training facilities that would make the best health club blush by comparison. And that's
like an Olympic training area.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. And these are huge investments. Everybody wants to be in the best possible shape. And there is baseball training that takes place, but it's different. Whitey Herzog bemoaned that 25 years ago. The Cardinal manager, he said, these guys are like fine sports cars. They hit a pothole and you got to take it in and have the whole suspension redone. 1-1 pitch. He used to say in the old days, guys would play a game, they'd go out and have a hamburger, a couple beers, maybe a steak, and get after it the next day. I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong, but I am saying it's different. 2-1 for Joyce, who struck out twice. And that pushed him off the plate, ball 3. We'll see what effect that tumble by Dickey has on him.
I just think there's an extreme that seems to exist now.
We could fix the problem in about 2 weeks. Have all the players hang out with us. They can do the broadcaster's diet. I don't think you've ever pulled a hamstring up here, so
not lately. No.
Let's see if Barretto's running. Another half step on his lead. He was leaning, and the Braves had him, but Adams dropped the ball.
Good throw, too. Hit him right in the bad place. The glove.
Now that lead a half step shorter. He is going. Fouled away.
It's one of the disadvantages of being a right-handed first baseman. Any throw over on a close pickoff like that, you've got to catch the ball backhanded.
Again, the stretch and the payoff pitch instead to first. Another entertaining game. 1-1's your score. And Joyce takes a floater outside, ball 4. So 2 are on, 1 is out. Jed Lowry is the hitter. Dickey had 2 walks in his last 14 innings coming into play today. He's walked 2 men in his first 4 and a third this afternoon. Dickey got a double play ball from Fegley in the 4th. Let's see if Lowry can do the same here. He's bounced into 4 double plays. Back to the mound. It deflects off Dickey's glove. Dansby to the bag, gets the force there. It's a 1-6 force play to take care of to take care of Joyce. Barreto's at third. Lowry is at first. 2 are out.
Nice play by Dansby. Get that guy at second. No play at first with the runner coming in on him. Had his back to first base.
There's a break. Davis tried to get out of the way of that pitch, instead fouled it off. He walked in the 4th inning and is the only A to score so far. And now here's a spot where the knuckleball might be disadvantageous for the Braves. It's a tough pitch to catch, and the go-ahead run, a fast runner 90 feet away in a park with a lot of foul ground behind the dish. So Tyler's got to be on his toes, and he stabbed that one. Way outside, even count.
Nice one and a hard one.
So it's 2-2. And now Dickey wants a chat with Tyler Flowers to figure out what to throw in this sequence. First and third for the A's. Tie game at 1. Popped him up. A ton of foul ground. Adams searching. Still searching. Still searching. Can't get there. Not an easy play, especially with a sore foot and the umpire to tangle with at first base.
Probably one of those at SunTrust Park where you run a couple of steps and you realize it's in the seats.
Yeah. So Davis gets a swing on the house here. Still 2-2. Strike 3 outside corner. There's that fastball that Dickey tried to utilize earlier in the game. Oakland strikes out with men at the corners and a chance to unlock the tie. Instead, it's the Braves' turn to hit. We go to the 6th.
top of the 6th. Step into my office as I try to stir up a little bit, guys, spur some conversation. Home runs 2014, here's the big deal. 4186, 2015, 4909, 2016, 5610. And this season, we've already got 3,024 home runs. That's the cause for alarm. Some of the pitchers saying the balls are different. The memo was put on the chair by MLB guys saying it was the same, the baseball was the same as only last year. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Guys, back to you.
All right, Paul, thank you very much. Wouldn't know it from this park and this score. 1-1 game. As Matt Kemp leads off for the Braves in the 6th inning. Braves and A's have combined for 2 runs and 9 hits. Atlanta's run an unearned run that came across in the 2nd. Oakland got a 1-out walk that was scored on a Ryan Healy 4th inning hit.
Blackburn's longest outing in AAA at Nashville was 7 innings. He did that twice, but each one of those outings he didn't give up a run. One was 2 hits, no runs. The other was 5 hits and no runs.
Check swing roller. Blackburn with a nice play and took his time, made a strong throw to first. That gets Kemp for the first out of the inning.
Follows through to the first base side and did a complete 360 turn to get that.
And Adams is 1 for 2 in his return to the Braves lineup. And he scorches one to straightaway center. Davis going back and right at the 400 mark makes the play.
Well, he was able to get some extension on that, wasn't he?
Now batting, number 25, Tyler Flowers.
If you just joined us, we were talking earlier in the game about Matt not being able to put a lot of weight on his back foot because of that foul ball he suffered in San Diego, but a good swing there.
And this big ballpark, big enough to swallow up that drive to center. 2 quick outs. And Tyler Flowers, the hitter, he reached on the air and scored. He's also struck out swinging. Fegley caught that foul tip. Blackburn pushing towards 100 pitches today. The Oakland bullpen starts to work in a 1-1 score.
Ryan Madsen. That's very Sean Newcomb-like of Blackburn. Remember, Sean only gave up 1 unearned run his first time out.
I'm impressed. More proof you don't have to throw 96 to be effective.
Right.
In the major leagues as a pitcher.
Fastball command. He's commanding everything today.
Tyler was reaching for that pitch and pops it toward first. Alonso drifts back and makes the grab in foul ground. And that retires the side. Blackburn impressive through 6. 1-1 score. that R.A. Dickey and Tyler Flowers have working together as the Braves battery. That relationship might have paid off last inning when Tyler Flowers helped frame a pitch that struck out Chris Davis. Check it out.
Yeah, this appeared to be a little wide of the plate, but he made it look like a strike. Doug Eddings is set up on the inside shoulder, closer to the hitter, and by framing it, got the called strike.
Now think about that. In a game where you see 100 pitches, if 50 of them are out of the zone,
you're getting some extras.
That's 4 or 5 strikes. That might be an extra out. That is a extremely valuable skill set for Tyler Flowers. And he's handling some tough pitches from R.A. Dickey that are floating all over the place today. There's a strike to Yonder Alonso. He's 1 for 2, a 4th inning single. Their dangerous hitter with 17 homers this year. Alonso thought that was high. He gave up on that pitch. The A's have been grumbling all afternoon long. And a swing and a miss. Alonso's upset more about strike 2 than the swing and a miss. So he gets a parting shot. Melvin out to protect his first baseman. And Alonso's still in the game, but he's the first out of the inning.
This is 2 pitches ago. Alonso's still barking in their dugout. Just caught the top of the zone.
Here's the man that Dickey hasn't been able to solve. It's Ryan Healy. Made his big league debut last July 15th. And he and R.A. Dickey have some personal history. So the man's got a lot of power. While Paul Blackburn is making his big league debut on the mound, Healy hit his first home run against R.A. Dickey.
The day after being called up.
Your first hit in the big leagues, a home run.
And you get the silent treatment.
How exciting for him. 2 balls, no strikes. And then you foul one off the top of your foot. Healy down on a heap.
Man, that was right off the top of the big toe, it looked like.
So he and Matt Adams will have something to talk about after the game. And Healy's going to stay in the game. R.A. said something to him, and Healy was smiling about that. Snuck a fastball by him. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It was a good time for it, figuring he's not really all that anxious to swing again. I love this. Shaking off pitches, shaking off signs.
Then he quick pitched him and missed low. 3-2. And that missed way high, and now Adams and Healy can talk about that sore foot experience as Ryan walks with one out.
Now batting right fielder, number 28, Matt Olson.
I think Matt's saying my foot hurts worse because I didn't hit a knuckleball off my foot. I think he got a slider. That's fouled at the plate. Strike one for Matt Olson.
If you want, I'll show you my bruise when the game's over.
Nothing in one. And lifted toward left. Santana's gonna catch that. Healy hobbles back to first. 2 outs. And here's Fegley, who's grounded out to short twice, once into a big double play. Oakland had the bases loaded. A run in and 1 out. But Fegley killed the rally. The A's have gotten a man to third base since, but we're still tied a run apiece.
Just looking at recent games started by R.A. Dickey and run support. He won his last game, but only by a 3-1 count. And that's about what he's averaging in support for the years, about 3 runs a game. And I hadn't realized that it was so low. And today, only 1, and that was an unearned run in the 2nd inning. A's bullpen still busy. I wonder if Blackburn's done. He seemed to be getting a lot of high fives when he came off the mound.
Well, if he is done, he was extremely impressive.
Set down in 9 of the last 10.
Two balls, no strikes. The A's legends looking out on the field from left. On a strike inside corner. Fegley didn't like that.
Press the line.
To the left side. Dansby's got it. Fires to second in time. Good play. And Brandon Phillips, in a stare down with Ryan Healy, ends the Oakland 6th. Every night, every device, watch every out-of-market regular season game live, plus get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Go to MLB.tv and get all the details. Joe Simpson, Paul Bird, Chip Carey, and our great Fox Sports crew with you from the Oakland Coliseum, where for the second straight game, we've got a terrific game.
Leading off the top of the 7th inning.
1-1 is your score as we head to the 7th inning.
Camargo.
Sean Doolittle is pitching in his 18th game.
And he worked last night, and the Braves got their insurance runs off of him in the 9th inning. 2 runs on a couple of hits and a walk.
The man named Doolittle is doing a lot in the first 2 games. And he just popped up Camargo, and that will be the first out of the inning.
Well, they got Blackburn out of the game, so time to go to work on the bullpen.
Now batting, number 23, Danny.
6 innings, 3 hits, 1 unearned run for Blackburn, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, and a hit batsman. Was pitching great at AAA at the time of his promotion. That continued in today's game. Here's Santana. He has the lone Atlanta RBI. A 2nd inning double brought home Tyler Flowers. The umpires in the crowd starting to get on Doug Eddings. Thought that pitch was close enough to be called a strike. Missed the story last night. Doolittle out of the University of Virginia, where he led the school in career RBIs, was converted to a pitcher in 2011. And got to the big leagues in 2012.
Long discussion there between Eddings and Danny Santana.
Popped up. Shallow left. Long run. Barreto says he's got it. There's a collision. The ball dropped. And Santana's going to be safe at first. The A's are asking if that ball was controlled. I don't think it ever was.
No.
So another defensive lapse for the A's gives the Braves a gift base runner here in the 7th.
It's another ball into left field, though, that in this case Joyce got a late break on it. Apparently Barreto didn't hear him. And he was not running hard. He might have had a chance to go to second.
That has scored a hit. And Santana represents the go-ahead run. Here's Swanson. Dansby's 0 for 2. Runner goes. He got a great jump. The throw to second is going to be late. Excellent take by Dansby Swanson. He saw how Santana broke from the bag, and now he's in scoring position. 1 out and an 0-1 count.
Another one of those throws from a catcher that is short, and it causes the glove to have to come up, catch the short hop, and then come back down for the tag, and that allowed Santana to get under him. If you don't throw the ball in the air to second base, your chances are slim.
Good stop.
Good swing his last time up, which was consistent with the swings last night. But he struck out his first time up today, and it looked like he was thinking pull again. He tried to reach for a pitch away from him with 2 strikes on him that he swung and missed on.
Looks like he's got almost the whole right side of the infield to play with. But then Lowry sprints back. See how fresh Doolittle is after a heavy workload last night. Through 28 pitches and already 9 so far in the Atlanta 7th, and he's got only 1 out. Now the runners try to steal third. The throw down there is going to be late. And Healy might have jammed his elbow or his wrist trying to apply the tag. He came jumping off the third base bag as Santana dived in head first. He's got 2 steals in the inning.
Well, if he put his glove hand right into the helmet, you can understand why. He might have jammed his wrist or his thumb. Oh, the helmet went right into his forearm. Kind of whipped it. I wonder if he kind of hyperextended his elbow a little bit over the top of the helmet. So now he doesn't know whether to limp or hold his arm. How about Danny? Good jump when he swiped second. Took advantage of Doolittle not paying attention to him. Swiped that one with room to spare.
So now an advantage for Swanson. The infield comes in for the A's. A lot of angles for him. Now the man at third base, albeit with 2 strikes, a fly ball might give you the lead. And that's upstairs, 2-2 the count.
Well, it was another good take by Dansby also, even though it was the second strike. Got to have enough confidence you can hit and get that guy in from third base with 2 strikes. If you saw that he got a good jump.
Line toward left. That ball is headed for the corner and fair. He turned on that baby, and Atlanta takes the lead. Man, did that ball jump off his bat. Santana scores. Atlanta's back in front.
Short, quick, got the foot down. And see, he doesn't have to think pull. His hands are so quick inside, he doesn't have to think about setting the rest of his body up to pull pitches. Great at bat by Dansby on taking pitches for the base runner and then taking advantage of a pitch up.
So the Braves are back in front in the 7th inning. Inciarte the batter. And he takes a ball high. Ender 1 for 3. That hit came in the 5th. It was a 1-out single. Two runs on 5 hits for the Braves. 1 run, 6 hits for Oakland. Ender's second career at bat against Sean Doolittle. He's 0 for 1.
it into a fielder's choice last night.
And he takes one up and in for an even count. This guy's been good as gold for the A's in relief. He'd given up just 3 earned runs in his first 16 appearances. The Braves have given him fits in the first 2 games. They've scored 3 times against him already. And Ender chased one up and out of the zone for the second out of the inning. 2 outs. Brandon Phillips, the hitter, and that's going to be all for Doolittle, who gives up a single and a double in the top of the 7th inning, and the Braves have reclaimed the lead. So Ryan Madson was loosening. He's a familiar face. The former Philly is coming on to face Brandon Phillips. And Ryan Madson, the former Philly, is coming on. Last year he saved 30 games.
Now batting, number 4.
He became just the second A's pitcher in the last 10 years with a 30-save season, and off to a good start so far in 2017.
It's always been tough on right-handers, and this year appears to be no different. A 197 average on him, and he used to really drop down a little low 3/4. Throws hard, 94 to 97 with a curveball and a change.
Well, Brandon Phillips has seen Madson a lot, and he's liked it a lot. He's 4 for 11 with a couple of doubles. And almost got drilled. Did he get drilled? Phillips said it grazed the uniform on the way by.
I don't know how it missed him. Got under his hands and arms. Doug Eddings waiting to see if the Braves are going to challenge it. Did it get Jersey? That's what it looked like.
Here you go. Here you go.
Yep, so the Braves might as well. They've got the lead. Go ahead and challenge the call. And the ruling by Doug Eddings was the ball did not hit him. Is there enough evidence to change that?
Previous play is under review. Determine whether or not the batter was hit by the pitch.
I mean, the guy that knows best is that guy right there. If he felt it brush his jersey. I can't tell. I can't say one way or the other. Brandon was walking toward first, but Doug Eddings called him back.
Yeah, Manson not even playing catch here. And the replay inconclusive. So the call stands.
The call on the field.
The pitch was inside. It's ball 1 to Brandon Phillips. A Dansby Swanson double puts the Braves in front in the 7th. He's at second with 2 outs. And into the seats out of play, even count. Madsen's been tough. He's on a nice run. He's allowed 1 run, 5 hits over his last 8 games, covering 8 1/3 innings. Right-handers have just 13 hits against this guy.
And you can see why, as hard as he throws from that arm angle.
A chopper to first, right to Alonso, and Madsen puts out the fire for Atlanta in the 7th, but not before the Braves take a 1-run lead. Stretch time in Oakland, 2-1 Atlanta. July 14th for your very own Matt Kemp bobblehead day, brought to you by Northside Hospital. First 20,000 fans walk away with the first bobblehead of Matt wearing his Braves uniform. Go to braves.com/tickets to secure your seats today. 2-1 Atlanta. R.A. Dickey is finished after 6 innings of 6-hit 1-run ball. Contrasting styles, I think it's safe to say. R.A. Dickey, the knuckleballer. Now it's the fastballer, Jose Ramirez.
And he had a good outing, his last outing down in San Diego. 1 inning, 0s across with a strikeout. That snapped a string of 7 straight outings where he had walked at least 1 batter.
In a 1-run game, important to get that first guy. And that first guy is Franklin Barreto, who's reached on an error and has singled. Just missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Strike three, a fastball right down Broadway at 98 miles an hour. And Moreno couldn't pull the trigger. That's the 5th A's hitter to be struck out in the game. One away.
Good start for Jose, and a lot of times it depends on his start as to how the outing goes. This is a good one. Braves are wearing their home hats today, and they're part of this throwback for the A's, and the Braves uniform is pretty much the same as it was in 2002 when the A's went back to that. The difference is the Braves wore navy and red caps back in those days. That's the only part of the throwback they have.
Kind of like the red cap, build cap on the road. And for Ramirez, it matches his glove nicely, which is very important. Pitch. Foul away by Rajai Davis. Nice catch. Wow, one-handed too.
Very nice.
Fans from Livermore, California. The pitch. Right there, a strike. Thing that was so instrumental in the Braves' good month of June was the work by the Braves bullpen. The Atlanta Relief Corps went 7-1 with a 3.69 ERA and averaged a strikeout per inning pitched.
Great work, wasn't it? Very solid.
Swing and a miss. That ball was blistered right by Rajai Davis, in and under his hands. 2 outs.
He is letting it fly today. Feeling good on this sunny day.
So 2 quick outs. Here's Joyce. He struck out twice and walked once. That's lifted toward left. Santana on the run. Got there shy of the track. And he makes a terrific running catch to retire Oakland in order in the home 7th. Atlanta looking good late. 2-1 is your score. Let's send it back to Rebecca Capel in our Atlanta studios for tonight's big story. Use all the offense we could get. It's been a pitching dominated road trip so far, with Atlanta in front today by a 2-1 count after 7 innings. Nick Markakis, Matt Kemp, and Matt Adams are coming up for the Braves in this 8th inning.
Hudson's still out there.
Markakis 0 for 3 with a strikeout on the afternoon.
And 0 for 4 in his career against Madsen.
Sounded like he broke his bat.
Madsen's actually raised his arm angle a little bit from where he used to be.
Madsen's in the second year of a 3-year contract. It's already paid big dividends for Oakland. And golf foul past first. Rodis Vizcaíno getting ready, it appears, for the A's 8th. Interesting that last year Ryan Madsen had a 30-save season, and he's not the A's closer. Fly ball to right. That ball's going to carry. That ball's going to bang off the scoreboard. Markakis on his way to second. He'll slide in head first. It's a great start to the Atlanta 8th. A leadoff double for the Braves right fielder, Nick Markakis.
Nick was kind of measuring him. Fouled one off hard down the third base line. Fouled one off hard down the first base line. And then kept this one between the lines. You see a yellow line right across the top of that out-of-town scoreboard. That just missed being a homer.
So a potential insurance run standing at second for Matt Kemp, who's walked and is 0 for 2. Santiago Casilla is the closer for the A's. He's got 14 saves. Broken bat, that's fouled off Matt's foot.
You know, this structure in center field that runs from right center to left center is so gigantic and so high. I would say there's not another baseball park anymore that has an upper deck that high, even close to it. So it's hard to, from our vantage point, like on Nick's ball, to see actually how deep it is because of the depth perception problem with that backdrop.
Yeah, you really need the outfielders to help you, even from our vantage point. And Olsen turned very quickly and played it well off the wall. No balls and a strike. Matt couldn't check his swing. It's 0-2. That structure was built for the Raiders when they came back. Call it affectionately Mount Davis for Al Davis.
Yeah, we're told they don't even sell those seats for the Raiders up there. What a waste.
And they still owe $90 million on the construction bonds for part of the ballpark that never gets used. Pitch is in the dirt. But the tarps sure look nice up there.
Oh, they're very uniform.
One ball and 2 strikes. Understand why Madsen's paying such close attention to Nick Markakis. He's second among American League relievers in most stolen bases allowed, 7 of them. Madsen's only pitched 30 2/3 innings coming into play today. Launched out of play.
And maybe his reluctance to throw a pitch to Matt Kemp based on Kemp's numbers against him.
Joe, one of the worst attempts at a foul ball in recent history. A's fan had the glove up. It hit him right in the glove. I mean, right in the leather.
Had to be somebody from Berkeley.
Yeah. And dropped out of that left hand down below. Fans are all over it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And 2-2. Look at this. I mean, splat. Bless his heart. The pitch is downstairs. Full count. Braves 2, A's 1. Squiver to the right side. Kemp with a terrific at bat.
Heck yeah, that was great. Took him a while to be able to get a pitch to do that, but even on a 3-2 count, still trying to go the other way against a tough right-handed pitcher.
So Matt's line score will show an 0 for 3, but that could be a very big ground out. Markakis 90 feet away for Adams. Matt's 1 for 3. Infield comes in. Fly ball left. Well hit. That's going to be deep enough. There's the catch. There'll be no play at the plate. Markakis got on. Kemp got him over. Adams got him in. Big insurance run. It's 3-1 Atlanta.
Braves executed beautifully last night when they got those 2 insurance runs in the 9th inning. Great ABC baseball here late for a big run.
So Tyler Flowers the batter. He scored the first run of the day back in the 2nd. All 3 A's pitchers have given up a run today. Blackburn an unearned run in his 6 innings in his big league debut. He was really terrific. Doolittle 2 hits and a run in 2/3 of an inning. Now Madsen a run on a hit in 1 full inning pitched.
Tough take right there by Tyler. Good slider.
Just missed. 3 balls and a strike.
Who Madsen's mad at? He waved his arm like he was aggravated either at himself or Doug Eddings.
Now it's 3-2. Little pop into center. And Davis makes the play, and that'll retire the side. ABC baseball turns into the third Atlanta run of the game. 3-1 Braves. Home eighth coming up.
Fourth of July at SunTrust Park. Be sure to stay after the game for the best fireworks display in the Southeast, presented by Gas South. Visit Braves.com/promotions to get your tickets today. Bottom of the eighth. Braves up about 2 now.
And it's Arodys Vizcaino's turn to pitch. He'll face the 3, 4, 5 hitters. Lowry, Davis, and Alonso.
His ERA back under 2. Good outing in San Diego in that last game there, an inning with a walk and a strikeout.
None of these Oakland hitters have ever faced Arodys in the big leagues. We'll see what happens here in the 8th. Mentioned Jed Lowry, all the stops he's made in the major leagues. Until last night, he had never played a major league game against the Braves.
That's interesting.
So tonight's his second, or today's his second, I should say. And he's 0 for 3. And what a contrast from the knuckleballs of R.A. Dickey to mid to upper 90s heat from Ramirez and Vizcaino in the late innings.
Boy, Ramirez was on fire today.
Fouled off Tyler Flowers somewhere.
Oh, not the forearm, was it?
That's not a good sign.
Oh, yeah, it was. Oh.
He's got that forearm padded up, taped up. He's got the compression bandage on there. Squeezing that left hand, trying to get some feeling in the forearm, where he was hit with a pitched ball down in San Diego.
I mean, I bet that it's hard to squeeze the glove together.
We're about to find out. No balls, 2 strikes. Missed a spot badly there. And it's even 2-2. It's headed for the Braves bullpen foul. Lowry's hanging tough.
Well, he got a slider that he could drop the bat on. I'm sure they wanted, if they were going down and in, they wanted it buried down and in.
This guy's been a tough out lately. Lowry with a 5-game hitting streak on the line. Slide out to right. He's flied to left, and he's hit into a force play on a deflection off R.A. Dickey's glove back in the 5th inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Want to walk him in front of Chris Davis with his 21 home runs.
No, make him hit it.
He couldn't, though. Leadoff walk. Got ahead of him 0-2 and lost him. So Davis thinking about tying the game with one mighty swing. Davis has walked and scored, struck out, and popped out.
Number 2, Chris Davis.
Fly ball belted center field. The game is tied.
Bell-tie fastball. And he was on time. They're off the facade of those luxury boxes.
So walking a homer has it tied at 3. And now you've got to deal with Alonso and his 17 homers.
As you said, you don't want to walk the leadoff guy in front of Davis.
So that's got the crowd buzzing. No chance for R.A. Dickey to win this one today. The A's bullpen's off the hook for the moment, as Oakland's got 2 and nobody out.
Home run allowed by Vizcaino. He's missing to the same side.
There's one stat that tells the tale for Vizcaino, and it's been proven here in this 8th inning. First, the 3-0 pitch. In the career of Arodys Vizcaino, he has a .646 earned run average in games in which he issues a walk. In his other games where he doesn't walk anybody, it's a .122 ERA. Popped up. Long run. Dansby Swanson was the lone man on the left side of the infield, and he makes a fine play to retire Alonso for the first out.
That's like a Center fielder going into the gap to go get that one as far as he had to come with the shift on. Look where he was. He knows he's the only guy on the left side. Was not an easy play.
Braves are not out of the woods yet. Here's Healy. He's 2 for 2 with an RBI. He's also walked.
Yeah, those numbers you gave on Aroldis, he pitches late in the ball game, so those are big runs. When his ERA is that high after a walk, those are very costly.
Three in the 8th. No tie outside corner. Healy hit 10 homers last month. He's got 19 for the year. Chance to join guys like Jose Canseco and Jason Giambi and Reggie Jackson and Mark McGwire with 40 homers in a season. Pop fly foul. And still 2-2. It's obvious he's comfortable wearing the A's colors. They're the same ones that he wore at Oregon with the Ducks.
Good point.
Too close to take. He fought it off. What a find for the A's. Healy, a 3rd-round pick. And he's putting up a fight here. This guy hit 13 home runs in 72 games last year and hit .305 for the A's. He played almost every game after the All-Star break for them.
He's part of the middle of the order that is going to be so.
Into center and a base hit. A 3-for-3 day for Healy.
It's going to be so important for them going forward. They're all young, strong. And from the looks of things, very athletic.
So Rockies did not have a good day today. 2 hits, a 1/3 of an inning. A walk, no strikeouts. And with Olsen, a left-handed bat coming up, Sam Freeman's going to get the call out of the Atlanta bullpen. So the Braves can't hold a 3-1 lead in the 8th inning. We'll see how Freeman fares when we return to Oakland Coliseum after this. Night for the Oakland A's in this regard. He broke up the no-hit bid by Mike Foltynewicz.
Caught a break on a 2-2 pitch that could have been a called third strike, but lived to see that one and break it up.
So the young man out of Parkview High School will try to be an 8th inning hero for Oakland. He's got a hit tonight, and now he faces Sam Freeman, who's done terrific work in his first 19 games back in the big leagues with the Braves.
First appearance in the series. You see good numbers against left-handed hitters, a 184 mark. That's 7 for 38.
Well, a chance for the A's to find out something about Matt Olson. He doesn't have many at-bats against left-handed pitchers. He's 0 for 7 against him with 4 strikeouts. That's another reason why Brian Snitker made this move in this spot. Go-ahead run for Oakland at first with 1 out in the 8th inning. Dansby Swanson before the game about Matt Olson. They knew each other from the Atlanta area. It's fouled at the plate. In fact, Matt was very close to going to Vanderbilt, and he and Dansby were going to be roommates with the Commodores. But when Oakland came a calling with a nice draft bonus, he decided to turn pro rather than go to college. And here they are meeting very shortly in a big league game in Oakland. No balls, 2 strikes.
Funny how things work out when you befriend someone playing baseball, playing summer baseball, even as rivals, and how a lot of your paths parallel each other. Tell you what, that Vanderbilt baseball program is really something, and has been.
Haley at first, 1 out, 2 in. A walk and a homer has it tied up in the 8th. And Olson watch that one sail outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good patience.
Yeah, he tried the breaking ball, but he threw it almost off the plate to start with when it broke away from him. So no offer from Olson. I'd like to see him throw it at the middle of the plate and have it break away and see if he'll chase. If he feels comfortable with his command of it.
Swing and a miss. Good call, Joe. That's exactly what the Braves offered him. And that's the 2nd out.
He committed and then couldn't stop. Good pitch by Sam.
So Josh Phegley is up with an 0 for 3 day today. Looking ahead to the 9th, the Braves will have Camargo, Santana, and Swanson coming up.
Again, 97 from Sam. Keeps opening your eyes with that fastball velocity that he runs up that high on occasion.
been terrific on the road. Small sample size, but he's only given up 2 earned runs in his 7 road games.
One of those was his last outing down in San Diego.
That's correct. Fly ball, shallow center. Ender is there, and that will retire the side. A leadoff walk and a 2-run homer by Chris Davis ties the game after 8.
Braves baseball is brought to you by your local Ford dealer and the Georgia Lottery.
Chip and Joe with you from the Oakland Coliseum as we head to the 9th inning. Single runs for the Braves in the 7th and 8th put them in front 3-1, but a 2-run homer by Chris Davis has evened things up. Tyler Flowers getting some more attention from Jeff Porter after he took a foul ball to that left forearm back in the Oakland 8th. So to the 9th we go. It'll be Santiago Castillo on to pitch. He's got the bottom part of the order for the Braves: Camargo, Santana, and Swanson. Santana has scored a run, knocked in a run, and Dansby has an RBI double. So hopefully this will be a tough inning for the man that's closing games for the A's.
Yeah, the Braves have seen him. He was the closer last year for the Giants. Saved 31 games for them. But he can walk a lot of people too. Mid-90s fastball, curve, slider, change. Twelve walks in 28 innings. It's part of the order. Got it done in the 7th inning. They pushed a run across to take the lead.
Casilla turns 37 on July 25th. Signed a 2-year contract. Made his major league debut with the A's back in 2004. Fouled at the plate.
Just in case, Jim Johnson getting ready.
The 2-2 pitch is lifted to the left side and out of play, foul. This is a guy that the A's missed on for a while. He was a released player. That's how the Giants got him. Spent 7 years in San Francisco with 123 saves. across the bay at AT&T Park. And he's back pitching well for Oakland. And that one is tipped and caught by Fegley. That's how the 9th inning starts. Camargo's retired. And Johan's 0 for 4 on the day. Here's Santana.
It's kind of nice when you become a free agent and have the opportunity to stay put and sign with a different team.
Now batting, number 23.
Yeah, but you got to make sure you drive over the right bridge into the right ballpark. That might be kind of problematic.
I think that's fairly easy to remember between these two parks.
Upstairs for Danny Santana. He's got a double and a single today. 2 stolen bases were key in the 7th inning. It's all around day, a good one for Danny, playing left field this afternoon.
Danny's got designs on putting the Braves on top with one swing. And he might just do it.
1 ball, 2 strikes. That's hit towards short. And a boot.
Second error of the day on Barreto, who got one of those in-between hops for a shortstop, having to charge. Talk about it all the time and how good Dansby is at making this play. That one came up on Barreto and he couldn't handle it.
So let's make the A's pay. Remember, Santana stole 2 bases last time he was aboard. Now Dansby Swanson, an RBI double, opens the door for Atlanta.
Casilla tied for 5th among American League relievers in stolen bases allowed with 6.
Fegley's caught 9 of 26 would-be base stealers in case the Braves try to swipe a bag here.
He had a quick release on the throw to second base when Santana got in there, but again it was short. It was a short hop. Caused Lowry, or I'm not sure who was covering then. It might have been Barreto, had to raise his glove up to catch it.
Foul away right side. That was very close to that fan from Berkeley who, out of shame, didn't even try to raise his glove. Just let that one sail by. Now Dansby's got a fight on his hands. He's down in the count 0-2.
Fan probably just looked the other way.
Runner goes. Pitch inside. No chance for Fegley. And Santana steals second base standing up.
0-2 is generally not a good time to run because the other team can pitch out. And instead they threw a curveball, which was just what the doctor ordered for Danny. Made it easy to steal that base, especially after the high leg kick by Casilla. So here we go again with Dansby and a chance to come through again.
New set of signs perhaps with a runner at second base. That's why the pitcher and catcher had a meeting. Let's see what Swanson does now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lowry playing hide and seek with the runner at second. And a good stop. Good take. Ball 2.
Good numbers for Dansby. Does not include his RBI double today. He's added to that. Lowry trying to bird dog Santana and hold him close to give the outfielders a chance if there's a base hit, but it also opens up a bigger hole over there on that side for Swanson.
Line drive left field, a base hit. Here comes Santana around third. Dansby comes through with another clutch double, and Atlanta is back in front. Look at that Braves dugout.
Boy, oh boy.
Down 0-2. Took a pitch. Santana steals second and then mashed that pitch to left.
Fastball that was kind of sinking. It was like a two-seamer, but ran right into the barrel. Again, really quick on the inner half. Second RBI double in as many at bats, following another stolen base by Santana, who's had himself quite a day.
So Atlanta with 2 unearned runs today, now back in front 4-3.
That was only the 4th hit out of 41 at bats with runners in scoring position off of Casilla. And was behind in the count and took a slider away that was a tough pitch to lay off, and then ripped a double.
So the Braves are back in front by a run as Ender digs in and fouls one away. He's behind 0-2.
Braves may go home, and Dansby may be lobbying to bat 9th.
Two gorgeous swings and results for the Braves shortstop. The 7th and 9th RBI doubles. Now 35 runs batted in. Looped foul past third. In the major leagues, you can't give the other club extra outs. And that's been a recurring problem for the A's. 73 errors now, 52 unearned runs in the first half of the season.
You're so right. And I'm sure Bob Melvin can tell you just about every game where it's been extremely costly, especially late in a ball game.
For Barreto, 2 today. This is his 7th game. And that one line back to the mound, and it's surrounded by Casilla, who makes the play. And Dansby's doubled up. But the young A's shortstop commits his 3rd error in his 7 big league games. That's led to 2 unearned Atlanta runs. And we go to the bottom of the 9th with a 4-3 Atlanta lead. Dansby Swanson today batting ninth, as Joe said. Atlanta takes the lead again 4-3, and Jim Johnson's on to try to finish off Oakland in game 2 of the series.
Well, he gave up a hit last night and then struck out the side. That was his 17th save of the year. Only 9 walks in 34 plus innings, and he's got the number 9 hitter up there starting the inning. Want to retire him and move on.
So Franklin Barreto will lead off.
When Jim gave up a hit to the first batter he faced last night, Jed Lowry, after the game, I told him, nice going, and goes, well, I didn't want Fulte to feel bad, so I gave up a hit too.
'Freeman, excellent work in relief, is in line to win it if Johnson can get the 3rd out. One ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. That's the 9th strikeout by an Oakland hitter in the game. As we said, usually it's 3 innings of no contact. Tough to come back that way.
Big hook.
Jacob Brugman's going to hit for Rajai Davis, who went 1 for 4. This is his 21st big league game this season. A strike.
And he did not face Johnson last night.
Brugman's 25 years old, a 17th round pick. Last year he had 295 in 94 games at AAA. Good on base percentage. Cue that one foul, however. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That was a curveball again and was biting right in on his knuckles.
Swing and a miss. Fastball at 95 under his hands.
Five straight Oakland A's struck out by Jim Johnson dating back to last night.
And one more man to get. That's Matt Joyce. The Braves will employ the shift. Camargo will drift into shallow right. Dansby Swanson, the Lone Ranger, on the left side of the infield. As Joyce, 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts, stands in.
He too did not face Johnson last night. 1 for 5 in his career against him. Jim's got a good fastball and a good hook. Working today. Fastball in the mid-90s. So far, so good.
High fly ball toward left. Santana is there, and the Braves have beaten the A's and have won the series. For the 8th time this year, the Braves have scored the game-winning run in the 9th inning. That's more than any team in Major League Baseball. And the Braves have won their 5th series in 6 tries and go for a sweep tomorrow afternoon here in Oakland. What a finish for Atlanta, 4-3. Your final score, Joe, the bullpen 7-1 in June. They're 1-0 in July.
Well, the bottom part of the order was outstanding today. Clutch hitting, moving runners over, getting them in was very impressive. Danny Santana and Dansby Swanson were terrific.
2 costly errors by the young shortstop Franklin Barreto were cashed in by the Braves. 2 unearned runs. And Atlanta, with a 3-2 road trip, has a chance to sweep behind Julio Teheran here tomorrow afternoon. What a ball game. Braves win a 1-run thriller in 3 hours and 16 minutes.